The Mario Monday Night Massacre mod just dropped, and in this video, I want to explain how boyfriend and girlfriend got into this situation and explain the backstory of each of the characters in the mod. Now, I believe that boyfriend and girlfriend ended up being sucked into MX's world the same way they did in the Mario Madness mod. They probably got a cursed copy of the game and were forced into this universe. The good thing about them being brought into this universe though is that they were actually able to get there in time to save Lucas. Now, most of you probably don't know who that is, so let me explain. Now, MX, aka Mario 85, is basically like a horror version of Mario, and he is heavily influenced by the Sonic PC port, aka Lord X. And his backstory goes like this. There's basically a young man named Lucas. He was about 8 years old, and as he's playing Super Mario's on his old school NES, he suddenly blacks out because some large flash comes out of his television set. And when he wakes up, he's actually inside the game, and it looks like he is now Luigi. And this is what we actually see in the Friday Night Funkin mod when boyfriend and girlfriend warp in. Now, in the original story, everything seems okay, of course, except for the fact that Lucas is trapped in this game. That is until he gets to the end of the actual level. There he finds Mario standing by a flagpole looking relatively normal until he turns into this monstrosity version of himself. And then he grabs Toad, throws him at the flagpole, decapitating him. And if you notice in the mod, boyfriend and girlfriend drop in right as Lucas finds Mario in front of that flagpole, aka right before he's getting ready to transform. Now, in the original story slash game, Lucas is prompted to run, and if Mario catches him, he devours him, body and soul. Mario 85 is basically like the Incredible Hulk in that first Avengers movie, where he's chasing the Black Widow and nothing is stopping him. I mean, this guy is literally breaking through bricks, pipes, and jumping over holes, and even if he falls down in one of the holes, he just pops right back up. He's basically unstoppable, so if you miss any of your jumps or you time them wrong, he's going to catch you and devour you. In a lot of Mario 85 lore, he's actually said to be best friends with Lord X, which makes a lot of sense because if you don't know, originally he was actually supposed to be called Mario PC port. And just as a side note, that is super terrifying because those two together would make a very powerful duo. The next character we need to talk about on this list is going to be called I Hate You Luigi, and this character was actually created originally by a person named Slime Beast. The background here is actually a sunken ship slash castle, and that relates right back to the actual creepypasta slash ROM hack that he's from that actually goes by the same name. Something I find interesting about this creepypasta though is that originally it was made just to actually make fun of other creepypastas, but it was so well done that people actually started to like it unironically, and now the creepypasta slash ROM hack actually has like a cult following behind it. Now, this version of Luigi has a very interesting backstory because we're used to seeing Luigi as being a good guy, kind of like Mario's sidekick, but in this instance, he's actually evil. When you look at the creepypasta, Luigi is the bad guy, and he's kind of like a manipulator. He basically pretends to be on his brother's side, but in actuality, he feels like he's just a sidekick and that he's been overshadowed by his brother. And in reality, he feels like he should be the one in the spotlight. This version of Luigi is very cocky and very self-centered and self-serving. And instead of talking to his brother about how he feels, he instead just basically knocks him out. And as he's sitting there gloating over Mario's body, Mario gets up and he kicks him a little too hard and actually knocks him into the lava. That's why in the Friday Night Funkin mod, we actually see his body look all burnt up and zombified. That's because of what Mario did to him. Something I find really sad about this though is that Mario didn't want to actually hurt his brother, and he actually cries in the mod because of what he did to Luigi. The next character in the mod is going to be Coronation Day Peach, and this character is actually the main antagonist of a popular ROM hack that goes by the same name. Basically, one day Peach goes off into the forest on her own, and she's either unalives herself or she's taken out by some type of mysterious person or entity. Now the forest is basically haunted, but we don't know if it's actually Peach's ghost that's hunting this forest or some type of entity that has taken on Peach's form, but like a demonic version of her. It doesn't really tell us in the actual ROM itself. A lot of people speculate that it might be some type of demon. Some people say it's a ghost, and some people even say that it's the god of the forest who was actually angry with the land, or aka the people on the land to be more specific. And one thing that I like that the mod creators did here is that they put this version of Peach up against Girlfriend, because while we don't know all of Peach's backstory here, we do know that she does have supernatural abilities, so Boyfriend would probably not be a good matchup for her, but putting Girlfriend, especially since he's a demon, against her was actually kind of a smart move. The next character I we see in this mod is Daisy, aka Daisy Eye, and this character is actually based off her trophy from Super Mario Bros. Melee, where if you use the camera debug, you can actually see a third eye on the back of her head. Community Games actually did a good job of showcasing this on his channel, as you see here. And even though there's not a lot of backstory for this character, I like how the developers of this mod kind of made her creepy, especially with that giant eye in the background. Very good job there. The next character we see on the list is actually Secret History Mario and Luigi. They're created by a YouTube channel called MASH, and these are the same people that created Secret History Tales. So Secret History Mario is basically portrayed as being a corrupt version of Mario that is not a hero at all. While we know him as the savior of the Mushroom Kingdom, the actual inhabitants of the kingdom feel very differently about him. In the video, we see Bowser actually call Mario a psychopath who destroyed his land so that he could race go-karts. He also points out that Mario is going out of his way to stomp on baby turtles and little Goombas. Mario basically stripped their lands of all the resources and made the people live in squalor. This version of Mario also made Princess Peach get surgery because he was jealous of the time that she spent with Bowser. He basically wanted her to look like a new person. The sad part here is that it implies that Princess Peach is basically a prisoner and will never be free, and because of the plastic surgery, she can't even smile anymore. The one good thing in this story is that the people of the Mushroom Kingdom have not given up hope and are actively fighting against this version of Mario. And as far as Luigi goes, he is basically Mario's personal bodyguard and is just as evil as his brother. The next character that we see in this mod is actually called Victim 1, and this character is from a ROM hack called Mario, and it's basically a hack of the Super Mario world. Now, in the original ROM hack, this person was found dead on their carpet, and the thing that stood out the most is that they no longer had their eyes. And in the Friday Night Funkin' mod, we get to see that the victim can actually take on the appearance of Mario, but the one thing that it cannot change is those missing eyes, so this is why Mario has the appearance that he has in this song. And the second form that Mario takes is actually the true form of Victim 1. Obviously being much taller than Mario, and their skin is this reddish type of orange color. And of course they have no eyelids, no lips, and they look a lot like starved Eggman actually. Now in the original ROM hack, I don't think Victim 1 had the ability to actually transform into Mario. I think that's something that is special for the Friday Night Funkin' mod. The next character we run into in this mod is actually going to be Wario Apparition, and even though this character is technically created by Nintendo, it was made popular by the community. Now it's hard to say what happens to Girlfriend in this part of the mod, but Boyfriend is definitely running away from the Wario Apparition with Mario for whatever reason. And a fun fact that I find interesting here is that a lot of people think that Wario is actually related to Mario, but in reality Wario is like Mario's rival from back in the day. Now a lot of people don't know this, but the Wario Apparition was actually a character created back in 1996. And it seems like over the last few years, he's got somewhat of a resurgence. Now granted, we only really see him in popular memes, but even with that, it's still cool to see these old school characters kind of come back into the mainstream. And the last character on the list is 7 Granddad, aka Primitive Mario. This version of Mario is from a ROM hack called The Flintstones, The Rescue of Dino and Hoppy. And I think that game is from all the way back in 1992. And this is why the melody of this song actually sounds so much like the Flintstones. Now, a big fun fact about this mod is that apparently they're supposed to do a collaboration with both the Friday Night Funkin' Mario Madness mod and also the Versus Mario Friday Night Funkin' Port mod. This is a big deal because each of these mods are great in their own right, and you can just tell all the effort that each of these development teams put into their work. All of them coming together to make a single mod will probably be amazing. Not to add a negative note here, but I just hope no controversy or any drama pops up to where the mod would have to get canceled, because we are losing development teams and mod creators a lot in Friday Night Funkin' right now. So I'm really praying that this one goes through and nothing happens. Now, if you enjoyed this video, check out this video where I go over the Hypnos Lullaby mod. There's a part 1 and a part 2 out right now. Subscribe today to become a member of the Orseofkorse, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. Peace, peace.